Finally, I'm back. I want to just take a couple of days break, get some energy back, and then also give enough time for everybody to watch the last video that we have made, which was the 4 producers flipping the same sample, and my guests were Maurice Drescher, Awesome, and Soul Button. And it was super fun project, and I think everybody got really entertained by watching the video as well. So if you haven't seen that, I will put it here so that you can click the link and check that out. But other than that, today's video will be a bit more ethereal techno. We will go to this ethereal plane with a bit deeper sound. I will try to make it like piece by piece, and I can talk a bit in the meantime. I will try to edit it so that it won't be super boring for you, and it will be mostly influenced by BLANCAh and Nick Devon, I will say. But let's sit down and travel to Ethereal plane and make some techno. I think one of the most important elements in ethereal techno is getting this kind of smooth kick sound. I mean, there are ethereal techno tracks with heavy kick, but most of the time you will see the smooth and silky kick sound. And I guess I have kind of an 808 clip here. That will be, for example, fine. Let me put it here. Let's make it 4 bars and duplicate it. The one thing that I'm considering doing now is actually kind of repeating, doing double triple kick at the end of the 4th bar, so that we have this kind of more groovy, even more danceable kick sound. So I'm gonna try something like this. That was the reason actually I wanted to use the sample of the drum rack, so that I can just do this. I could have done this with the drum rack as well, but I also wanted to smooth out the transient of these two so that it's not like super hard hitting. So I'm gonna do the same thing here like this. And let's play this now. I think I did it a bit too much. Let's bring this up a little bit. So this is just perfect. The fun thing that you can do with this type of sound is actually when you have the smoother kick, you can utilize this like a gritty beginning of the kick for creating this kind of groove. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna cut this part right here. And then I'm gonna make it something like this. Let's play this. It's good and fine, but I think it's a bit too much. So let's cut this so I have a bit control over that transient. And make it shorter, something like this probably. Maybe a bit longer, but it depends. Really nice, there's a pop-pop sound. So what we are going to do, just create kind of a nice Tommy groove from this and try to make the track a little bit fun. So let me quickly do that so that I don't take your time while I'm trying different options, and then come back. So I come up with this melody, not melody, this groove. It's really simple, really. It sounds like this. Let's volume this down a little bit. Volume this a bit more. Sounds cool and nice. The thing that is missing, actually, I want to put an EQ8 over here. Just cut these super lows here. Let's... something like this. And then actually I want to play around a little bit more, and I'm going to add a delay and see if I can make it groovier. So what I'm going to do, put this delay on, and I'm thinking like turning on and off all the time to give this kind of weird groove, I will say. Let's group this up so that when we turn it on and off, there's no sound level change. Let's call this dry, and let's call this wet. So, and the wet will be of course 100% wet, and a little bit feedback on top. So if I saw this one, you will hear exactly how it sounds. That in the end. However, I'm thinking of turning this on and off all the time. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm looking for like the areas that I can enjoy a tail, like this empty place, good place for a tail. There's another one, let's put it here. And let's not do that there, because then it will be too much repeating. And then maybe here, and let's try. And for now, I will drop it here. I think it's good enough. And then I'm gonna layer this one with a serum bass. This will be really, I will say, sub bass, just to fill this sub area. So what we are going to do, Let's put an F here. I think I have something here. Do like this. And let's play this. It will be a bit too high, but we can pitch it down. Let's sidechain it to kick so that we have this sucking and pumping going on. And the next thing that I like to do, because now we have the sub bass and we don't have actually the bass itself, we can play this on our advantage. What I'm going to do, put a 0, and then we're going to make a pad sound that's kind of like wide, so that it gives this kind of ethereal plane vibes to it. I know it sounds a bit weird, but it will all make sense. So what I'm going to do, turn this off. I'm sure I have an F minor over here that we're going to grab that, and then push it 1 octave below, 1 octave below, so we have a bit darker vibe going on there. Open up the serum. If we play it now, yeah, that is not like you would like to have, but we will fix that. How we are going to fix it's quite easy. We are going to unison that. Ooh. Volume is down. And then of course it's a bit too dark. We're going to cut a bit low. Just like that, and boost slightly here. Oh yeah. Somewhere around there, there's a sweet spot, and then I'm gonna sidechain it to kick. Thing that we can do is a bit slightly, let's say, gritty, and a bit tube saturation tends to fix those issues. Just like that. And let's add a delay. Reverb. Isn't this just cool? And we have this nice dark vibe going on. The other thing that I like to tend to do, and I feel it looks good and sounds good, is actually kind of adding a rhythmic pad, but it is almost like a synth sound. It's in between. So we're gonna do that now. Let me just put a repeating F. All right, I just add the notes. Looks like this, just simple driving notes, I will say, and just put the diva. But I want to have like a super simple kind of driving sound, and you can get like easily by using, for example, pick a mini mono and then bring the cut down, cut off like this, and then give it a little bit decay. Same thing here, bring down the sustain, give it a little bit release, and put in a bit envelope. So let's try. Volume it down and more. Something like that. If you want to have a smoother, a bit softer envelope, you can try analog and digital. It really depends on the taste that you are looking for if I play with the track. What I like to do, of course, put an EQ8, and then we're gonna cut it off. And I like to actually use kind of a bit channel EQ. I feel like it gives like an analog vibe to it. Again, I just want to have it in the background. It doesn't need to be like in your face or anything like that. I just there to give a bit rhythm to the sound. And then you would like to have probably kind of a high pad, and this will be kind of almost creating the tension in the track. So the easiest way to do it, taking a chord like this is the F minor. Let's put it on the original space and put the third to the 6, and it will sound really weird. Let's add a serum to get this kind of a super simple high pad sound. Let me put a filter so that we don't kill your ears. So it sounds like this. And if you put it into unison mode and detune a bit. just like that. Maybe give it a bit reverb on top of that. And then I would like to cut the highs a bit, the lows a bit. Volume up. I will probably use a bit glue here and total in the group as well. I just want to have a bit less dynamic range because again this is ethereal techno and you would like to create this kind of almost an unreal background. Yeah, and pads are more or less fine at the moment. Again, you can always come back and fix the things. However, now because we have fixed this, I would like to come up with the super simple percussions that I'm gonna just put some simple stuff and come back. All right, the perks are ready. Basically, let me show you quickly what we have. We have this simple sound, and then this a bit darker sound, and then even darkest one. And then we are just playing it around a little bit, and I signed it to the big hole slightly so that we have a bit more ambient sound like this. And cool sounds actually. And what I like to do, maybe glue a bit, and I'm thinking even using a slight pedal to distort it. I think this is good and nice. Again, we are continuing with this theme of making things a bit like in the background, a bit ethereal with this one as well. And right afterwards, this is the part we can actually start thinking about kind of a main lead sound so that we can have the groove. Or we can also go a bit safer and finish the hats because ethereal techno almost has kind of all the thicky hi-hats. And probably it's a good idea to finish those as well so that we don't do so much high end with your lead sound so it doesn't get out of control. So just let me quickly pick a couple of samples so that we can go through with it. So I just picked like my regular stuff, 16 hat and then a shaker and off hat and then a just slight organic hat. Let me go through it quickly. They're not really that important stuff. The open hats or the 16 hat sounds like this. I just skipped this one where the off hat hits simply because I don't want to spend too much time on mixing, so I just make it easier for me. The important thing here is probably the shakers. Let me write it shaker here. So we have this same shaker sample from Production Music Live's Deep Premium 4. Let me solo this. And then we have this and this. This is exactly the same sample, but I am processing them differently. So this is the first one, I'm gluing a lot and I'm putting a reverb, so it's very smooth. And the second one is a bit more aggressive. And the third one is like this. So basically building this ambience with it. So if I play it, the important thing over here is actually the echo, and you see that I am using it mode, so I'm adjusting the time rather than just putting it like 1/4 on 1/8 and so on. Without it, it doesn't feel like it's played in the room, but when I turn this on, it really feels like somebody's playing it in the room. And then I have the like sidechain to the hat so that there's a super short transient in the beginning when the 16 hat hits and a bit like a EQ, and the last one here should be the sidechain into the kick. Just like that. And if I play with the open 16 hat now, you definitely feel like there's a space for the off hats, and it is these guys over here. There's really nothing on it, it's just a hat sound, and then I finally just added this one as a flavor. And altogether it sounds like this. And a slight overdrive and glue compressor on top of that. If I play everything one more time now. Again, we are trying to create the part like everything plays together. It helps with the overall mixing as well, because while we are picking the sounds, we are considering other sounds at the same time. So it really helps creating like a coherent mix. And I think now with this time, I think we should create a lead sound. And to create that, I will probably just write down a simple notes and put a diva on top of that, and I can explain a bit more. Okay, so I just made the lead sound, and let me quickly go through with it. And these are the notes I'm heavily influenced by. I would say BLANCAh. This is basically the same notes that they used. And I just added a couple of here and there, and then basically I picked my 65 Melodic Techno short plug sound. It's kind of a very plug sound. I changed it a bit. The thing that is important here, actually, as you see that I'm using all the three oscillators, it's really important to get this gritty sound. Let me play it to you so that you can hear how it sounds to start with. It's almost like a moogie sound, like you will hear a lot in the Ethereal Techno. And again, 3 oscillators, all of them are on the sawtooth. We are utilizing all the harmonics possible, but they are tuned with different rates, 16, 8, and 4, so that we are utilizing whole harmonic range as well. And then we have a nice envelope on the cutoff, so that we have this fast movement in the cutoff filter. And then I slightly automated the cutoff, so we are opening up while we are going here up and then down again and here up again, so that we have a nice movement going on. And then we have this nice plate reverb on top. That ding ding ding, that's really important to have this kind of a really moogie sound, I guess, here. And all together, if you play one more time. Really, really cool sound. And here, actually, you should start to think about building the ethereal vibe. And one of the easiest way to do it, actually, playing with your white noise and utilizing it kind of a, I would say, percussion sound. So I just put the diva. It doesn't need to be diva. It could be anything, basically. But the only thing that we're going to do, let's pick the mini mono here, or anything really. And we're just going to use, actually, the white noise here. And the reason for that is white noise is used a lot in Ethereal Techno for creating the percussive sound, because it also creates this kind of very dramatic effect. And what I'm going to do, put the cutoff here, put kind of quite a good amount of envelope and emphasis like this, and then bring the sustain probably down around here, and then activate release so that we have smooth movement here. If I play it, I just put these simple notes here, nothing really. And if I play it, let me solo it so that you can hear a bit more. This exact movement, like wow wow sound with this white noise, really creates this really nice effect. And the effect gets enhanced when you use it, for example, with a plate reverb. So this is what we are going to do. Just like that. And then you can make it even more interesting by, for example, go to frequency here so that you can increase it while you are playing it. Maybe we should do it a bit less slight. So if we decrease this. Just like that. So while you are moving, for example, a 4th bar, 8th bar on the breaks, on the transition, this would really help to create this kind of drama in the sound. So if I play, for example, together with the track now. So it really gives this kind of nice sound. The other thing that you can use, actually, you can even use it as a percussion. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to distort this. Let's put something like this, and then probably repeat this up here. And then we're going to change a little bit the envelopes and so on later on. But let me do it this way. Let's hear it. Just like that. And we can also utilize the cutoff a little bit here. Just like that. And then we can bring that envelope a bit more. Maybe bring the size and decay a bit. Just like that. Again, depending on the taste, you can play with the envelope to make it a bit more aggressive. If we play with the track now. And then you can definitely add even delay on top of that to make it more ambient. What I feel like that is missing in the track is kind of another background sound. It just needs to give a rhythm, but it can definitely help to bring the things a bit front. So I'm thinking like something like this. Not this melody, but like a ding, 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 like a BLANCAh track. So let me put an tab here so that we can do it. So what I mean here is basically having this super high pitched lead or arpeggio sound or anything really. It just, you always find these notes in the in the Ethereal Techno. So this is exactly what we are going to do. So if I play this guy over here, I just installed loaded the serum. It is nothing similar to there. So we would like to go a bit octave up. So it should be really this irritating sound almost, and that's exactly what we are looking after. I like to start basically, if I go to Moog, something like a triangle wave, and from there we can go lean towards a bit the square wave depending on the taste. So what I'm going to do, play this one now. I'm sure you heard this sound before in Ethereal tracks, so we're gonna give a bit reverb on that. Hear how much ambience simple arpeggio gives, like even though it's super high pitched. And then if we play with the track, let's play a bit with the EQ to make it sit a bit tighter. Let's put a bit compression here so that it's not super like a plucky. If you want to go a bit like a richer sound, you can definitely lean towards like something like this. I think we are really getting there. The thing that needs actually now to make it even more Ethereal Techno is arranging a little bit. So what I'm going to do now, just fix this around so that I can explain why I did it, what I did it, and play it one more time. And maybe I can add a couple of, I don't know, maybe percussion or so on, but nothing really important in that sense. So let me do that. All right, now almost ready, and we have a nice loop going on here. The thing that I did that you haven't seen is the adding the clap. We forget definitely about that, and it sounds like this. It's almost it's like these like weird clap sounds overused in Ethereal Techno. I thought I had to do one of those. And basically, like we have this guy, like every other loop here like is off, so that it feels like stopping kind of stuff. And then we have the long clap here supporting this guy. And we have a bunch of effects on top of that. And the other thing that I did, I think this SYNTHS, and then it's like simple rhythm. It plays nicely around with the other, this guy. Utilizing this high area. But altogether, let me play you one more time, and then you can hear if it sounds like Ethereal Techno. And yeah, that's it. If you'd like to download the project file, it will be available on my Patreon. So take a look at there. There are a lot of things that could be interesting or not for you. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something. And I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.